This is Philadelphia's Franklin Field on a dark and gloomy December 7th afternoon. Today, over 60,000 fans who braved rain and sleet would witness a game between the National Football League's closest rivals, the hometown Eagles and the neighboring Washington Redskins. There are many bitter rivalries in the NFL, but none closer than this. The series between these two teams is tied at 30 games apiece. Both teams have been completely revamped in the front office and on the field. A magic man named Lombardi now coaches the Skins. He inherited the NFL's finest passer, Sonny Jurgensen. Many wondered how Sonny would react to his new mentor. The answer is there for all to see. Jurgensen, with his new slim shape, is having his finest season. Before the game, Lombardi seemed concerned with the effect the weather would have on the Eagles' new AstroTurf. Later, his interest would seem prophetic. There's a new regime in Philadelphia, too, and they are dedicated to making the Eagles a winner. Leonard Tose is the new owner. He and Coach Jerry Williams have stocked their team with many new faces. Harold Jackson is the most significant one, and George Myra, who was brought in from San Francisco. But the old guard remains the core. 9-year veteran quarterback Norm Snead is still the field general. Tom Woodishick is what being a pro is all about. The fine fullback is at last gaining the reputation he deserves. The defense is led by number 82, defensive end Tim Rosevich. The front four is one of the youngest, and it is the Eagles' pride. Beside Rosevich, there is Mel Tom, Gary Pettigrew, Ernest Callaway, and 11-year man Floyd Peters. The team they face today has, in the tradition of other Redskin teams, a trio of fine receivers. But these Redskins have an extra ingredient, one that has been missing through the years, a running attack. Lombardi's strategy is predicated on strong ground game. He tested 21 backs. The two that survived as regulars, Larry Brown and Charlie Haraway, have been excellent. So today, in this long-time rivalry, the series lead was on the line as the Philadelphia Eagles met the Washington Redskins. I'm Jack Whitaker, and this is the NFL Game of the Week. The Redskins got immediate field position when number 46, Ricky Harris, returned the opening kickoff 54 yards to the Eagle 41. But the Eagles' defense braced. On a third down play, number 27, Irv Cross, came up fast to hold Charlie Taylor 1 yard short of a first down, and Washington was forced to go for 3 points. Harris's great run went for naught as kicker Kurt Knight missed the attempt from the 39. On the Eagles' first play from scrimmage, Norm Snead was sacked by the Redskins' fine linebacker, Chris Hanberger, number 55. Then Snead proved equal to a quarterback's greatest challenge as he twice completed third down passes to keep this drive alive. The first was to Ben Hawkins for 15 yards on 3rd and 5. Then he completed this pass again to number 18 on 3rd and 14, and it went for 51 yards. A repeat shows the amazing grab by the acrobatic Hawkins as he bounced off his defender, then blazed down the left sideline. The long gain put the ball in the Washington 13. Then Tom Woodishick towered his way up the middle for 11 yards and another first down. The other setback, 208-pound rookie Leroy Keyes, number 20, shook off 2 tackles and went in from the 2. The Eagles led 7-0. Washington struck right back. Larry Brown, number 43, triggered the drive. He seemed stopped, then broke through for 37 yards. Jerry Smith made a nice grab of a high Jurgensen pass for an 8-yard gain. With it 3rd and 7, Charlie Taylor slanted across the middle and took the ball away from Irv Cross for 12 yards and the touchdown. Another look from the end zone reveals Cross's coverage was perfect. Taylor simply made a great play. Washington had gone 63 yards in 7 plays to tie the score. Late in the quarter, tough running by Woodishick took the Eagles into field goal range. A repeat of the last Woodishick ramble shows the key block by number 20, Leroy Keyes. This is one of the reasons for the great faith the Eagles placed in the highly publicized rookie. But Sam Baker missed the field goal and the period ended tied. Washington started the second quarter like it was going places. Jurgensen hit Smith on a sideline pass for 10 yards. Then things went against them. Larry Brown dropped the pass from Jurgensen. Sleet was now falling and sticking to the playing surface, making it slippery. Brown's next run confirmed conditions. The Eagle defensive line broke through to dump Jurgensen with an 11-yard loss to end the Washington drive. Philadelphia's faithful went wild at the defensive display. Not everyone watched with such pleasure, however. The Eagles didn't disappoint the home crowd. Norm Snead put on a brilliant display of pinpoint passing to move his team 56 yards in 6 plays for the go-ahead score. He did it by employing all 3 of his receivers. First, tight end Gary Ballman, then Hawkins, who was all alone. The result, 23 yards to the Washington 29. Snead got the remaining 29 on the next play as he laid the ball into Harold Jackson for 6 points. The weather was becoming more of a factor in this game, which was actually the first played on the stadium's AstroTurf in inclement weather. Sleet had turned to snow, and there was now a thin layer of ice on the playing surface. This made it hard to handle the ball, and even more difficult for the runners to cut. With his team sliding backwards instead of running forward, Jurgensen tried to pass his way out of the reverse momentum, but was caught in his own end zone for a safety. Philadelphia's defense in the slippery field was proving a difficult 1-2 punch against the beleaguered Jurgensen, who presumably at this moment wouldn't be an advocate for AstroTurf. Washington got another chance late in the quarter, and a short pass to Taylor got them going. His great moves made the play into a sizable gain. A repeat shows the elements were still at work. Taylor slid, then managed to keep his balance to spin his way free. Then Larry Brown, who ranked 6th in the league in rushing, turned the right corner and streaked 53 yards downfield. The Eagles were reeling. A repeat shows Brown bobbled the ball, shot through a hole, broke a tackle by number 21, Joe Scarpati, another by number 50, Ron Porter, before being run out of bounds by Irv Cross. Jurgensen had his team on the Eagle 5, and he went for the quick score. Charlie Taylor had already caught 5 passes in the half. He didn't hold on to this one. Number 52, middle linebacker Dave Lloyd, an 11-year veteran, diagnosed this pass to the left and slapped it away from Smith to save a certain score. Washington had to settle for 3 points provided by Kurt Knight. The score was now Philadelphia 16, Washington 10. Again, the Washington defense forced a punt, and again Jurgensen had another chance to score before the half. He had just 36 seconds to do it. Brown powered up the middle for a dozen. The rookie from Kansas State had 96 yards in the first half alone. Then Jergy, under pressure, hit Taylor all alone at the sideline. He stepped out to stop the clock. A repeat shows why Taylor was uncontested. It was the slippery surface again. Number 26, Al Nelson, had slipped on the play. But on the next play, the uncertain footing worked in Philly's behalf as Jurgensen slipped while trying to pass. Jurgensen was blitzed by Lloyd on the play and had to be removed from the game. With only 17 seconds remaining in the half, Frank Ryan made his first appearance since joining the Skins from Cleveland at the beginning of the season. He was hit, escaped, scrambled, then shoved a pass to former Browns teammate Haraway. But good pursuit by number 88, Gary Pettigrew, prevented a long gain, and time was called. With 2 seconds on the clock, Kurt Knight's second field goal in 2 minutes brought the Redskins within 3 points of the Eagles. Washington had been thwarted from scoring 6 again, but the momentum seemed to be with them as the half ended. As halftime waned, the magic carpet seemed more like an ice rink, and the players changed shoes to combat it. Ironically, it was the Eagles who so far were claiming the scalps, not the Redskins, and their loyal partisans wanted more. Though outplayed, Washington was only down 3, and through most of the third quarter, they held Philadelphia in check. Norm Snead's passes were tough to hold in the sleet, and he managed only 1 completion in the quarter. The only bright spot for the Eagles was the running of Tom Woodishik, who would total over 100 yards on the day. The Redskin rush was led by number 85, John Hoffman, a 6'7", 260-pound rookie from Hawaii, who was all over the field and helped stop the Eagles' other setback, Leroy Keys. Snead, too, was feeling the pressure of the revamped Redskin defense, and even when he unloaded on time, paid for it. However, the Redskins would fare no better in the early part of the quarter. Jergy was also pressured and dumped once by defensive end Tim Rosevich, number 82. Punter Mike Bragg was then called on, and he managed to salvage a good kick after a high snap to Bill Bradley. Bradley made an error in judgment. He chose to run back the punt from his own 5 rather than let it bounce in the end zone. The Eagles had to start from their own 13. Snead was caught by a hard-charging Jim Norton, number 83, on 2nd down for an 8-yard loss. So he went back to pass again, and Carl Kammerer knocked the ball loose. John Hoffman recovered in the end zone for a touchdown, and Washington had the biggest break of the game and took their first lead, 20-16. The super rookie from Texas, Wild Bill Bradley, atoned for his earlier error as he carried the ensuing kickoff 30 yards to give the Eagles good position at their 42. It seems that Tom Woodishick can run in any weather. After Woody's run, Snead hit his only completion of the quarter, a 30-yarder to Jackson, who beat Pat Fisher, number 37, to the ball. With this catch, Jackson went over 1,000 yards for the year. But from here, the Eagles' attack bogged down as the erratic Snead overthrew both Hawkins and Ballman. Sam Baker's 19-yard field goal made it 20-19 near the end of the quarter. Unlike Snead, but like Unitas used to, Jurgensen can seemingly rally his team at will. And inspired by Lombardi, Sonny did just that. In a time-consuming drive that took the rest of the quarter, Jurgensen, Larry Brown, and Jerry Smith led the Skins to another score. On the last play, watch the offensive line push out and open a huge hole in the Eagles line as Brown darted across midfield. Tim Rosovich's hands and Jerry Smith's hands foiled Jurgensen's next attempt. But as if Lombardi was in the huddle saying, "Do it again until you get it right," Jurgie came right back with the exact same call, and it worked. Then from the 25, Sonny dropped back under good protection and fired for Smith again. And number 87 made a great catch near the flag for a touchdown. Despite some vociferous counsel for the defense, a repeat will show that Smith did hold the ball long enough to have possession, a judgment decision by the official. The quarter ended with the Redskins now ahead, 27-19. When they got it again, the Redskins failed to move the ball. Fierce line play by Rosovich stopped Larry Brown after a good game. But on second down, Brown took another shot and couldn't hold the ball as the Eagles' Adrian Young recovered on the Skins' 30. The hitting was so hard on this play that it could almost be heard in the stands, and especially on the Redskins bench. The Eagles had a big break now, and Snead tried to capitalize on it. But after his pass to Jackson, the Redskin defense braced and stymied Leroy Keys. Then Snead was haunted by his biggest bugaboo, the interception. Mike Bass picked it off in the end zone. Instead of 3 or 7, the Eagles came away empty. This was the turning point of the game. The Eagles did score next time they had it, but could only manage a field goal. After Woody's 7-yard jaunt, Snead's pass was batted down by the omnipresent John Hoffman, who was another of Lombardi's wondrous finds. Sam Baker's 47-yard field goal made it 27-22 with 9 minutes left. Again, Jurgensen needed a score for insurance. And inspired by the man who seems to inspire everyone beyond their own ability, Sonny ate up 6 minutes on his way to a touchdown. This drive contained mainly passes to Jerry Smith and Charlie Taylor, whose 10 catches for the game put him second in the league in receiving. Smith was covered by strong safety Nate Ramsey, number 24, and a perfect spiral found Smith on the 6-yard line. On the play, watch the blocking on number 88, Gary Pettigrew, as Smith beat Ramsey to the ball. Larry Brown is making a strong bid for Rookie of the Year, and he rammed for his 137th yard of the game down to the 4. Then from the 1, Brown behind perfect sweep blocking, went inside left tackle for the score. On a replay, we can see the Lombardi's credo is perfectly executed as Larry Brown runs to daylight. The score was now 34-22, and time was running out on the underdog Eagles. With 2 minutes left, the Eagles had to score fast, and Snead tried his best. The Skins were in a prevent defense, but Snead's arm was now finding its mark almost with ease. First to Keys, then to Ben Hawkins. But Snead then failed on 3rd down. So on 4th, he faded back and threw right down the throat of the secondary, and seemingly into the hands of Brig Owens, number 23. But on a replay, watch the ball closely. It was trapped by Owens, not intercepted. However, the Skins took over on downs, and the game was all but over. Or was it? Charlie Haraway fumbled on the very next play, and there was still time for a miracle on 33rd Street. Snead to Cyril Pinder, got the ball to the 10. Then Snead fired to Jackson, and the diminutive flanker had his 8th touchdown of the year. On the play, no one rushed Snead until late, and he unloaded a perfect bullet to Jackson. The Eagles now trailed by 6 with 30 seconds to play. Philadelphia was fired up now, and everyone in the stadium knew what had to happen next. Could the Eagles pull off an onside kick and get one final shot at winning? The answer, as we shall see, was a resounding no, as the clock ran out on the Philadelphia Eagles. Moral of the story is that although Vince Lombardi may not be able to part the Red Sea, today he was able to walk across a soggy carpet and defeat a team that beat his former Packer team in 1960 for the NFL championship. But time marches on, and so do the Redskins, who under Coach Lombardi have found a new spirit that may once again bring the man in the nation's capital a winner.